Hey everyone, it's Zinnia here, and today I wanted to show you how to make a complete sky jumping platformer on the phone. So yeah, I'll show you how to design your world and add items to it, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, so at the end of part 2, we had one platform and it always appears at this same area of the screen. So now to finish our game, let's add 3 things. Step 1, let's make the platform be able to go to random locations. Step 2, let's add multiple platforms. And then step 3, let's add flying items in the background, like clouds. So let's get started with step 1, making the platform go to random locations. Okay, so right now our platform is just always here. And to make it go somewhere random, we could drag out this go to block, and if you tap here, you can tap the random button. And so then every time you tap this block, it will make the platform go to a random spot. And now we should decide when in our game do we want the platform to go to a random spot. And how about every time the platform reaches the bottom of the screen, we can then have it, regenerate somewhere random. So I can grab the when touches the edge block and say, when the platform touches the bottom edge of the screen, then go to a random place. So let me just try that out. And okay, now when the platform touches the bottom of the screen, it goes somewhere random. But now here's one problem. The platform just starts somewhere completely random all over the screen. And it would be nice if it just always started somewhere random up here. So if you want to do that, you can just set the Y to this of like 181. But then you can tap on X and click this miniature random button here, and that will make just X be random. So now X could be anything all over the screen, but Y will always be 181. And so now if I test out the platform's code, the platform always reappears somewhere random at the top. And now here's a problem you may run into. If the octopus hits a platform from below, the game is actually still counting that as a jump. So the player could kind of just jump upward and upward, but only ever be hitting the platforms from below, which could look a little odd. So let's make it so that it only counts as a jump if the player is landing down on the platform. So in the platform sprite, this is our code that lets the player jump. When the player touches the platform, we send this message bounce. How about we make it so that we'll only send this message if the player is falling down? And now, how can we check if the player is falling down at that moment rather than, going upward? Well, we can test if the player's Y speed is negative, because if the player's Y speed is positive, it will be going upward, and if the player's Y speed is negative, it will be going down. So I can say if the player's Y speed is less than 0, then we'll let the player bounce. So now I can still land down on the platforms, but it doesn't count as a jump if I hit a platform from below. So that's looking pretty good. Okay, so we've got one platform working pretty well. Now for step 2, let's add some more platforms around the world. And to do that, I can just tap to open this menu, and I will just tap and duplicate this platform a couple of times. And, let's just try that out. Okay, so that's pretty good, except these platforms are all always pretty close to each other. So how about I will distribute them wherever I want them to be. And you can design them however you want in your game. Okay, so let me try that. And that's looking pretty good. Now I think the platforms aren't too close together. Okay, so we have multiple platforms in our world. Now for step 3, let me show you how to add more flying items that are decoration in the background, like clouds. So to create my cloud, I'm just gonna duplicate one of these platform sprites, because in my game, I want my cloud to have all the same movement code as the platforms. When the platforms are moving down, I also want the cloud to be moving down. And I will then tap here to replace the artwork with some cloud artwork. Can I find some? There we go. And if I test this out, that's working pretty well, except the player can actually jump off the clouds. And let's say in your game, you don't want the player to be able to jump off of these decoration items. If you want to do that, all you have to do is take this piece of code that says, when the cloud touches the player, send this message bounce, and just delete that one piece. And then just keep all of this movement code. And so now the clouds are still moving, but the player can't jump off them. They will lose the game. Also, let's make the clouds go to the back layer behind everything else. So that looks good. So we've got the clouds working. Now for the last step, let me show you how you could add an effect where the clouds move slower than the platforms, so it looks like they're farther in the distance. So right now in our game, the clouds and the platforms are both moving by Y speed. And so if Y speed is about 3.3, then the clouds are moving by that amount, and so are the platforms. And if I want the clouds to move by a smaller amount than the platforms, I could go in and get this math block and turn it into divided by 2. And I could put y speed in here. And so now if y speed is, 3.3, then the clouds will move by y speed divided by 2, so about 1.65. And so if you try this now, you might notice that it creates this nice effect where the platforms move pretty fast, but the clouds generally move slower than the platforms do. And this effect, along with everything else in the game, was thought of by Ian. So yeah, major credit to Ian for creating this project. And I think I will duplicate and add another cloud to add a little more detail. And there you go. That's how you could make a sky jumping game. There are, of course, tons of things you could add to this, points, levels, anything you might want. So yeah, I hope you have fun making your games, and I'll see you in the next video.